Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we like to blend casual conversations with some hopefully insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets. Today we're diving deep into some recent AI happenings, and honestly, even your tech-obsessed host, I'm doing a double take on some of this stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a bit of a whirlwind out there. Buckle up.
First off, OpenAI has done it again. They've unleashed ChatGPT search, and this time it can directly access the web. No more messing around with plugins or anything. It's going straight to the source.
That's right.
Like a super-powered research assistant.
Yeah, this is a huge shift. Imagine, if you will, instead of sifting through pages of Google results, right?
Yeah.
You just get a concise summary pulled from various sources, all cited and ready for you to dive deeper if needed.
Oh, yeah.
It's really potentially game-changing for how we find and consume information.
I can already see myself using this to settle debates with friends.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you think pineapple belongs on pizza. Let me ask my AI buddy ChatGPT search.
I see your pizza debate strategy, but think bigger picture. What happens to Google's reign if this takes off?
Ooh.
How do we navigate potential bias in these AI-generated summaries? This is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the questions this tech raises.
Okay, point taken. It's not just tea about winning pizza arguments. But speaking of other players in the AI search game, Perplexity is still in the running, right?
Absolutely. While ChatGPT search might be faster at grabbing those straightforward facts, Perplexity's strength lies in its ability to encourage deeper exploration with follow-up questions.
Okay.
It's like having a conversation with the search engine itself, which can be really helpful for complex topics.
And now Meta's jumping into the ring, too, with plans for their own AI search engine. It's like everyone suddenly realized search is the new frontier.
It seems that way. Competition can be a fantastic driver of innovation, though. Seeing how each company tackles this challenge will be fascinating. Will they all focus on speed and efficiency, or will we see some prioritize different aspects like user privacy or combating misinformation?
All right, time to switch gears from the digital world to something a bit more tangible. Meta's been working on a robot hand that can actually feel thanks to tactile sensors. Is this the beginning of robots taking over the world?
Hold your robot apocalypse thoughts for a second. While this is a major step forward, it's more about helping AI understand and interact with the physical world better. Think about the potential for robots to perform delicate tasks like surgery or handling fragile materials.
Okay, so maybe not robot overlords yet. But imagine a robot that could finally fold laundry. That's the future I'm signing up for.
You and me both. That might be a few laundry cycles away. But the technology itself is moving quickly. Meta's already working on an even more sensitive fingertip sensor called Digit 360, which is set to be available for purchase next year.
That's insane. I can barely keep up with the latest smartphone releases, and now I have to worry about robot hands with better dexterity than mine.
It's definitely a rapidly evolving field. Speaking of rapid evolution, let's talk about Elon Musk's XAI and their AI model Grok, which just got a major upgrade. The ability to see images.
Wait. So it's like giving Grok eyes. I'm picturing a robot wearing glasses and scrolling through Instagram.
Not quite that advanced, but you're getting the idea. Paid users on X can now upload images and ask Grok questions about them. Need to identify a plant. Curious about the meaning behind a meme, Grok can potentially provide answers.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What's next? Will be giving us fashion advice based on our selfies?
Image understanding is still in its early stages, so while fashion advice might be a stretch for now, this development is significant. It opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for how we interact with AI. And it doesn't stop there. There are plans for Grok to understand documents too, combining image and text analysis. The potential applications are vast.
All right, that was a lot of AI awesomeness packed into a few minutes. I need a moment to process all of this.
Take your time. We'll unpack even more exciting updates in the next segment. After all, the world of AI never sleeps. It seems like every corner of the tech world is buzzing with innovation these days. We've got big players like OpenAI and Meta making waves, but there are also smaller companies doing some really impressive things.
You know, I love hearing about the underdogs. Who should we be paying attention to right now?
One platform that's caught my eye is GeneScript. It's a JavaScript-ish environment that's designed to make working with large language models like the ones powering ChatGPT and Grok a whole lot easier.
So it's like a toolkit for people who want to build and experiment with these AI models.
Exactly. GeneScript provides a more user-friendly way to craft prompts and interact with these powerful AI systems. It even integrates seamlessly with tools like Visual Studio Code and offers tons of guides and examples to help people get started.
That's awesome. It's like opening up the world of AI development to a wider audience, right?
Yeah.
Not just the coding wizards in Silicon Valley.
Precisely, democratizing access to these tools has the potential to lead to all sorts of amazing innovations we haven't even thought of yet. But it also raises important questions about responsible AI development.
Okay. Yeah, it's not all fun and games with AI, right?
Yeah.
There are ethical considerations, too. Speaking of which, we were talking about ghost jobs earlier, and I have to admit that whole concept still kind of creeps me out.
It's definitely an area where the lines between innovation and ethical practices can get blurry. Remember, these are essentially fake job listings created by employers for various reasons.
So it's like they're dangling a carrot that doesn't exist. What's the point of that?
Some companies might use them to gauge the talent pool or maintain a presence on job boards, but there can be more manipulative motives at play too. Some employers might create ghost jobs to see if they can find someone willing to do the same work for less money, potentially impacting salary negotiations for their current employees.
That's just wrong. It's like they're preying on people's hopes and dreams of finding a new job.
It's definitely an ethical gray area that highlights the need for transparency in the hiring process. Job seekers should be aware of this tactic and do their research to make sure a listing is legitimate.
It's a good reminder to always be conscious, even when it comes to something as seemingly straightforward as a job listing.
Oh.
And speaking of navigating tricky work situations, Amazon's been making headlines with their return to office policy.
Ah, yes. The ongoing debate about the future of work. It seems over 500 Amazon employees weren't too thrilled about the upcoming policy requiring them to be in the office 5 days a week starting in 2025.
I get it. After experiencing the flexibility of remote work, going back to the daily grind of commuting and office life doesn't exactly sound appealing.
The pandemic definitely shifted our perspectives on work-life balance. Many employees have found that they're just as productive, if not more so, working from home. And they've come to value the flexibility and autonomy that comes with it.
It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, not just with Amazon, but with other companies grappling with similar policies. Will we see a mass exodus of talent from companies that insist on a full return to the office?
It's certainly a possibility. Companies might need to reconsider their approach if they want to attract and retain top talent in today's evolving work landscape. After all, flexibility and employee well-being are becoming just as important as salary and benefits.
And speaking of compensation, remember those ghost jobs we were talking about? Apparently, they can be used to manipulate employees into feeling less valuable, ultimately impacting their salary expectations.
It's a tactic some employers might use to keep wages down. By creating a perception of abundant available talent, even if it's not real, they try to shift the power dynamic in their favor.
That's just messed up. It's like a psychological game designed to make people feel lucky to even have a job, even if they're being underpaid.
It underscores the importance of open communication and transparency between employers and employees. Building trust and fostering a positive work environment is essential, whether it's about remote work policies or fair compensation.
Totally agree. Okay, that was a whirlwind tour of some of the less glamorous aspects of the tech world. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom, right? We're going to wrap up this episode with some more exciting news after a quick message from our sponsors. We're back with the final stretch of our AI deep dive, and it looks like the competition is heating up even more. Earlier, we were talking about Microsoft's big investment in OpenAI. Well, it seems like things aren't as rosy as they might appear.
Yeah, that's right. While Microsoft has poured billions into OpenAI, their recent financial disclosures suggest it's a bit of a double-edged sword. They're seeing growth thanks to OpenAI, but it's also cutting into their profits.
So it's like they're playing the long game, hoping that their investment will eventually pay off big time.
Exactly. It's a classic high-risk, high-reward scenario. But Microsoft isn't the only one betting big on AI. Mark Zuckerberg and Meta are also going all in, pouring resources into training their Llama 4 model.
Llama 4, is that like the next generation of their AI language model? What's so special about it?
It's a massive leap forward. Think faster processing speeds, new ways to interact with the model, and even stronger reasoning capabilities. Zuckerberg claims they're using over 100,000 NVIDIA H100 AI GPUs to train Llama 4, which is just mind-blowing.
Wow, those are some serious numbers. It sounds like the AI race is getting pretty intense. It's almost like an AI arms race with each company trying to outdo the other.
Competition is definitely fierce. But amidst all this innovation, there are also some concerning trends emerging. There have been accusations that Google is using shadow campaigns to manipulate public opinion about antitrust scrutiny.
Shadow campaigns. What does that even mean in the context of AI and tech companies?
Essentially, it involves creating seemingly grassroots organizations or campaigns to sway public opinion without revealing the true source of the messaging.
Okay.
For example, there are groups like the Open Cloud Coalition that appear to be advocating for open cloud technologies, but some believe they're actually backed by Google to redirect antitrust scrutiny away from themselves and toward Microsoft.
So it's like trying to influence the conversation behind the scenes. That seems kind of sneaky, doesn't it?
It definitely raises questions about transparency and ethics. It's crucial to be critical of the information we consume
Hmm.
and to question the motives behind seemingly neutral groups or campaigns, especially when big tech companies are involved.
Already noted. Always double-check those sources and look for potential hidden agendas. Now, before we wrap things up, I wanted to circle back to something we talked about earlier, pull requests in software development. Remember how we were saying they can be a major bottleneck?
Yes, it turns out those delays often come down to simple things like unclear instructions or reviewers being unavailable. It's fascinating how small things can have a big impact on efficiency.
Totally. It's like trying to build a house without a blueprint or having your contractor constantly ghost you.
Right.
Frustrating. But you mentioned there might be a solution to this.
Researchers from Microsoft and Delft University of Technology developed a system called Nudge. It's an automated system that sends timely reminders to both the authors and reviewers of pull requests.
So it's like a gentle nudge to keep things moving along. I can see how that would be helpful. But does it actually make a difference?
The results are impressive. They've seen a 60% reduction in pull request completion times after implementing Nudge. It just goes to show that sometimes a simple solution can have a huge impact.
That's amazing. It's
Yeah.
like a little digital assistant keeping everyone on track and making sure those code updates get implemented smoothly. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our AI-packed episode. We covered a lot of ground today, from the evolving landscape of AI search engines and robots that can feel to the ethical challenges of ghost jobs and shadow campaigns. It's clear that AI is rapidly changing the world around us, and it's more important than ever to stay informed and engaged. Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the show, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.